We're back. Episode number 14, post-Homestead recap. Wessel's blowing a fat cloud up there on the top right. We are here. Tegan's got the water bottle going. Matt looks like he's about to hit the pitch to play some footy. We got a crew today, fellas. Title of this episode is Homestead is the best mile-and-a-half track. And I think it proves it yet again that Homestead does not miss. What a great race that was. Kind of an old-fashioned race, to be honest. A lot of tire wear, one dominant car, but a lot of great battles also throughout the field. Fun race overall. Kyle Larson wins, another non-playoff guy, technically, picking up the W here. And we had some interesting things happen. The whole Martin Truex Jr. on pit road incident, which was, we'll talk about a little bit. Not sure really whose fault that was. Looks like it was Truex's fault.
I think he came out and admitted it.
Yeah.
Half-ass admitted it because
he said it was a combination. Yeah.
Combination my ass.
Put it on himself.
Yeah, it's 100% on him. He just didn't want to take it.
So, Tegan, you seem like somebody that would have enjoyed this race. Did you?
Yes. Even though Kyle Larson, I remember one restart, and it took Kyle Larson 20 laps to get a 9-second lead. It's like he could push that car when it needed to be. I was kind of hoping they'd find something wrong with it just to fucking prove that a car could be fast, kind of like Harvick did with his car. But, yeah, I mean, I liked it, but you take out the Kyle Larson dominating it, it was going to be a close race. But I mean, you could run the high line, and there were some drivers that could make it work on the bottom. I really think Homestead made a good case for being the season finale again, in my opinion. If NASCAR hadn't already released a schedule for next year, I would even say that next year they need to be put back, or at least put in the rotation. Phoenix it's not there. I don't know what makes them think it's a good finale, but it's not. It's Homestead to me.
Well, it's because Phoenix invested so much money in their fan experience that they really want.
They should have invested something into their racing experience.
You got a point.
Yeah. The racetrack's not a bad racetrack, but to be honest, when they redid it and flipped it, it lost something. I don't know what it is, but when they moved that start finish line, and it makes no sense what I'm saying because I used to make fun of other people for it. The track stayed the same. It's just the start finish line got moved, but it seemed like it changed the racing. And I think a lot of it might be because of the PJ1. They always put down on it.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
It makes it a one-lane racetrack. Everybody runs it till it fucking dries up, and then they're scrambling to figure out how to run the track in the last half of the race. When before, without that stuff, you had two lines on that track. You could run below the apron, or you had Harvick who could run the freaking mid to high lane and get a run on your ass. So it's just this chemical PJ1 shit. They need to get rid of it. That it's time to get rid of that shit with this new car. And I think they're working on it, but I guarantee you Phoenix will have it this year for the finale. It'll have PJ1 on there somewhere. So
it's even if it is time to get rid of it, it's almost too late because they've used it so much that it's stained the tracks.
It's stained the tracks, yeah. Didn't it? And it stained Texas already now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Texas, they didn't use
it.
They
put so much on it.
Yeah, it's time to blow that track up just for that reason too.
Yeah, right. I'm in the boat of either Las Vegas or Homestead for the championship race. I think they're both good markets for it. Phoenix is fine. I don't think it's great. It's not the worst option. Actually, it might be close. But I think that Vegas has an argument as well. I mean, you look at all the things that you can do around that race in Las Vegas.
And the garage.
Exactly.
The neon garage.
The neon garage. And you have the town where you can make it an entire event. Like Formula One is adding a race in Las Vegas for a reason. That's a big market that you can do a lot with. So I think that has an opportunity maybe sometime in the future because it's another track that has lights, so you could do it like Homestead used to with you have a transition race, which always is pleasing to the eye. So that could be an option. I think Homestead is also a great option. I think that NASCAR definitely big W to NASCAR for putting these two tracks in the round of 8 and getting like Texas and like Kansas and stuff
Out of the way.
it. Yeah, because I think we're much better off with where we're at here.
Now, I will say this. I think the racing could have been better. They got to figure out how to get the dirty air out of the equation. It seems like the dirty air is worse.
Really can't though
with this car. You can't pass it. No, they've made it worse. There's something they got to fix. It's part of the car, but it's part of the shifting. The shifting has ruined long run speed because they're losing time, but they're using that shifting as a clutch to fix it in these late in these runs. And to me, I think you'd see a whole lot more comers and goers and passing later in the run if you would take shifting out of the equation and not just Homestead anywhere. Who would have ever thought that you see shifting at Homestead?
Yeah.
I can understand Martinsville. It's a short track. I can see it. Pocono, they used to do it years ago. It comes and goes. But I don't know. I don't like it for a mile and a half. It's just stupid. And it ruins long Darlington, I went to that race. It was a decent race, but you didn't have a lot of comers and goers in that race either. And that's a track that has worse tire wear than Homestead. So, and they were shifting like 2 times in the corner there. So it's time. I really hope NASCAR changes the gear rule next year to where they can't shift at all.
Yeah, and it seems like that was another change that they made just to change things and really had no purpose to it. It's kind of like the lug nuts, the whole tire thing. It just seemed like they changed it just to change something. But the gear
they want to be like F1 and IndyCar. They want bing bang, bing bang, bing bang. That's all they want. They just want everybody fucking jamming gears like they're driving 18-wheelers. And it seems like NASCAR is starting to lose their identity a little bit. Exactly. They're trying to become
what they're
trying to cater to fans that ain't there. I mean, why do you want to cater and make it like F1 and IndyCar? I mean, are we going to have a fucking pass button here pretty soon? That's when I'm going to quit watching.
I'm not going to be surprised if there is a button like that because because NASCAR is going to be hybrid at some point.
Something to drop the spoiler for a little bit, maybe because it's like a DRS type thing.
There's something else that can catch on fire.
All right. Wait, do you guys hear that?
No.
Wait.
Oh. Already know what's happening here. It's Maddie's 2 dudes. Yeah.
Here we go, Matt. Give me your 2 dudes.
All right. Well, you could make the case that they should have did it last year, but I even think that now it's more of a rock solid case that next year, instead of calling it the Dixie Vodka 400, they should just call it the Kyle Larson whatever, because this man dominates this race course, and there was really no one else as good as him, plain and simple.
Is that a dude?
And then my second guy, I'm gonna put AJ Allmendinger up there.
Ooh!
He got the top 3 finish, and it was fun. That was one of the more exciting battles, was him and Chastain for the last however many laps it was. But every race, he's gaining more experience in that car that he's going to be in next year, which definitely can't hurt. So he gets a good result on top of it. So I'm going to say Kyle Larson and AJ Allmendinger.
Thank you, Matt.
Was I the only one hoping that he would wreck him?
Who? Allmendinger?
Oh, that would have been funny.
That would have been fun.
Oh, yeah,
because they got into each other. They got into each other with like 7 or 8 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, Allmendinger. I said a couple weeks ago that he's going to make the playoffs. I was saying it on a win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's top 16 in points next year because it seems like that Kaulig team has come on strong here towards the end of the year, and I think AJ's looked good at almost any track that he's raced at recently. And the run that he had, to run, he was up front all day. He was passing cars the entire race. The only thing that really held him back was his pit crew because they're basically a secondary team at Kaulig, which is a team that is totally developing their own pit crew program now. So I was really impressed with AJ. I think that he's going to be a playoff driver next year, whether it's on points or it's from a win. So what do you guys think about AJ?
I've said numerous times on the show that I think he's going to be a playoff driver. I think he's going to win a road course, but I wouldn't be shocked if he wins a race that's a non-road course. But he'll definitely be up.
Ooh, that's
He'll definitely
that's
be up there in the points.
Tegan. Wessel is on mute.
My bad.
Now we know he's got a light, so we can tell him. I could see him being top 16 without a win. I don't think we'll have 16 winners next year, so it may be all right. But I think we're looking too much into the speed. He short run speed yesterday, but like on long run, he was falling off. And I'm telling you, once you got cars in front of other cars, unless you were Kyle Larson or Martin Truex Jr., you wasn't moving back to the field. Look what happened to Chase and Ryan Blaney and them. Once they got put behind, they got stuck. Like, I mean, it just seemed like it's dirty air. Once you're in traffic, it's where you're stuck. You're not making moves unless you just have a car like Kyle Larson does. That's a half a second better after 20 laps. So don't read too much into his little short run speed. I think he's better at being aggressive on restarts, and that kills me because I watch Harvick just fucking let everybody go by, and it pisses me off. And I think that's where him and Ross are going to have a leg up. It's going to be restarts.
Right.
But I wouldn't read too much. I was watching him on long run. He was losing his speed on the long run like yesterday. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was so impressed, though. Their colleague is running better than they have been, throughout the year. Haley's looked good the last couple of weeks. He's had good finishes in the playoffs. So I look for those two guys to definitely improve. And that team's going to be on an upward trajectory from now on. I mean, they just became a Cup team, and they didn't have a situation like Trackhouse where they just bought another Cup
bought
team.
all their stuff.
Exactly. Trackhouse, they're putting a lot of money into it, and they have a lot of funds coming in. But Colleague is this is a startup. This is from the ground up. And, yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed with Colleague so far. Wessel, what are your thoughts on AJ and how Colleague's done?
I think Colleague, they, like you said, they've come on pretty strong here at the end of the year. I think AJ wasn't supposed to run this race, wasn't it? Noah, but he's in the 48.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
So it was good to see him jump in that car, finish in the top 3. Deal. What's your
me?
deal?
Me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
He's got fleas.
No, but it was an impressive run, and even with Justin Haley, I've been using him a lot on FanDuel Fantasy in my lineups and stuff, and he's got really good value. I mean, he doesn't qualify very well, so he gets that value when he kind of runs up front and gets all those positions. But yeah, they've come on pretty strong here at the end of the year.
I think we need, if we're going to do this next year, I think we need to all run a fantasy team or a fantasy league.
That'd be fun.
Next year.
I think we do. Yeah, we definitely should. Just with the podcast people, you mean? Just so
or maybe podcast, maybe league people, and we kind of separate ourselves during the podcast. But yeah,
I'm down. I love fantasy. Got a lot of fantasy going into my head. Ross, he's been good, and I think Ross has been aggressive, but not over the line like he was earlier this year.
He's getting really close to it, though. I mean, all it takes is one slip up with him overdriving the car, and he's pissing somebody off.
They're going to let him get to Phoenix, and he's going to go crazy,
Mm-hmm. He's done a good job so far of like tiptoeing that aggressiveness, like you said, not being as aggressive as he was earlier on in the year. But I feel like if he definitely makes it in the Final Four, Phoenix, you're just going to see old Ross from like the first half of the year come out, and this man's just going to try to move people left and right to try to get himself a championship, which, hey, I kind of get it. It's a championship race. You're going to want to do whatever you can to win a title, but there's a right way to go about it and a wrong way to go about it. And I just don't think Chastain is going to care which way he goes about it.
No.
But I'm sure he'll apologize at the end of his interview and celebrate, and he'll be like, I know I'm a better driver than that. I got to work on it, as he's hoisting the fucking trophy.
Yeah. There's something I'm want to look at real quick, and that is Ross Chastain odds to win the championship, because I would be hammering that right now, because if this man makes it to Phoenix in the Final Four, the other 3 cars are leaving on a fucking wrecker, okay? I mean, it's a guarantee.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome if he wrecks Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. You think that might be the moment that brings the Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott fans back together, reunited.
We never left each other.
Oh, you're so full of shit.
I
You're
love
so
him.
full of shit.
As of right now, Cup
Love him
championship
so much.
odds.
You got that diecast.
I
Cup
do. I
champion-
don't want to see it again.
You gonna smash it with a hammer this time? I thought you were going to last time.
Thinking about it.
Chastain's fourth right now at plus 650.
Plus
Where's
650
Byron?
isn't-
Where's
isn't
Byron?
great, though. I mean,
Byron's right below him, but Byron, there's a big gap. So it's Chase 200,
Right.
Logano 300, Hamlin 450, Chastain 650. Then you get good value. Then it's Byron at 1,000, Blaney at 1,200, and then Bell and Briscoe, because they're so far back, are at 2,500 and 3,000.
I'd watch if I'm looking for a flyer here. I'm on that Byron pick, and that's because he's shown strength really at all. Like he's shown a little strength lately, but I look for him to maybe if he gets in, I got to watch out for. And
Well, I'm telling you right now, if you get stuck in traffic in Martinsville, you're fucked. He better qualify good, and he better keep it this time.
Exactly.
Because last car took a test there, and all that did is they're not changing nothing. All it did was let teams figure it out more. So it's going to be the same shit show from the spring.
Yeah.
Just everybody's going to be more even.
Do you think we'll see like different strategies, kind of like a road course race, just to try to get track position?
No, because you mean working it backwards? Maybe because the tires didn't wear last time we were there.
Exactly.
They could get them hot, and then they'd have to let them cool off, but they didn't wear, and it's down to the shifting again. So, I mean, it's going to be a shit show. Bradley's probably going to want to leave halfway. If it weren't for Bradley getting autographs at the end of the race, he'd probably be going halfway.
He'd be out of there.
Yeah.
I was worried. I almost went to the race earlier this year, the spring one. I was really like, I was serious.
I wouldn't have minded going back, but with the way that spring race went, no, I'm not wasting my ticket. I'll go to Richmond next year is what I want to do. So,
you old little tire wear freak, you.
I love tire wear.
I know you do.
I don't like cars just fucking full throttle 400 laps. That's just stupid.
It is dumb.
Short it down to 50 and just go home.
Oh, look, now you're staying short in the races.
I mean, if we're not going to have no tire wear and it's just going to be wherever you qualify is where you're stuck, why the fuck are we doing 2-hour races or 3-hour races? Let's do a 20-lapper and just load them up and go home.
I'm here for it. Not 20.
We do 5 races in one day. Fuck, let's get on a plane. Where are we going next?
That'd be fun. So now currently the guys in Logano locked in, of course. Chastain is how much above the cut line? 19. Is that right?
That's about where it was at the whole race.
He's plus 19. He was like that before the race, and I think he finished like that. Chase Elliott's plus 11. William Byron plus 5. He did, yeah, because of the
caution.
He started losing spots. He got up to like 10th and then fell back to 14th. And then William Byron's plus 5 over Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney minus 18, Christopher Bell minus 33, and Chase Briscoe minus 44. Do we think the guys that are going to be in the next round are the 4 guys that are in right now, or do we think somebody else out of the bottom 4 sneaks in?
I think if you're Blaney, Bell, and Briscoe, you have to win. I don't think if Martinsville goes the way like it did in the spring, I don't see Blaney gaining 18 points unless Byron or Chase Elliott qualifies in the back or gets put in the back and can't get through and they lose stage points. I think you're going to have to win this race. Denny Hamlin has a mathematical shot at making up that point
pretty easily.
If he doesn't get stage points and Byron does, though, he's fucked.
That's going to be
because that's going to be impossible to make up at the end of the race, even if you out finish him. If he's getting stage points and you're not, and that's what killed him this week. He only had 1 stage point to Byron's. He got stage points in both stages. So that's if we go into Martinsville and Hamlin loses by a point or 2, he's going to look at last week. Those stage finishes, losing points. So I think the other 3 at the bottom are going to have to win.
Wessel, Matt, what do you guys think?
So who won Martinsville last year? Or not last year, but
Byron.
in the spring. Byron. I mean, he's got a chance. I believe the Chevys were kind of one of the more dominant short track
They were.
cars so far this year, aside from like Phoenix, where Ford just kind of came out of nowhere.
And
but-
Richmond.
Yeah, in Richmond. I mean, I guess those are kind of pretty similar style tracks too. So, yeah, Byron. I mean, it's going to be close, especially between Byron and Hamlin. But like Tegan said, it seems like, Blaney, Bell, and who's the other one down there? Briscoe. Yeah, it seems like they're pretty much in must-win scenarios now. Like mathematically, they're still in, but I mean, they're pretty much going to have to win.
Briscoe ain't. I don't think.
Briscoe's not. Yeah.
I don't think
Briscoe's
Bell
a big
mathematically
out.
would be in. Yeah. Blaney mathematically has got a shot, but he would literally
it's
have
gonna
to
be
have
tough.
Byron and
Yeah.
Hamlin both have shit stages at least for him to have a
Mhm.
mathematical shot of getting in.
All right, Matt, what do you think?
I think your top 4 is going to stay the way it is right now.
Ooh, a bold prediction there, Matt.
Thank you. Nothing really fancy
Yeah.
to say. I just think the top
You have
4 are
nothing
gonna
else on
stay where
that?
they are. Nothing else on that.
Okay. I was really hoping to buy me some time there because I'm trying to pull up the results from Martinsville earlier this year so I can talk about it.
Okay, I'll
Thanks
buy
a
you
lot,
some time.
Matt. Thanks.
So I think your top 4, like I said, is going to stay the way it is. Obviously, I could see Hamlin. He's only 5 points back, so you could see him. His main focus here is going to be Byron, just trying to beat him in every single stage. But with Blaney being 18 points back, that's kind of a large gap, especially to make that up in one race, where the people who are ahead of you in the points are generally good at this racetrack as well. That definitely doesn't help him out. But yeah, I think the top 4 are going to stay the way they are.
All right. Well, so the playoff drivers that finished in the top 10 at this race earlier in the year were Chase Elliott, who finished 10th, Chase Briscoe 9th, Ross Chastain 5th, Ryan Blaney 4th, Joey Logano 2nd, and William Byron finished 1st. Denny Hamlin was 3 laps down in 28th. I don't remember why.
He struggled because of the tire.
Right. And William Byron with 212 laps. Chase Elliott led 185. I believe Chase had a different type of strategy or something where he got mired back in the pack and couldn't move his way back up through. I mean, you look at this. There was a late restart at this race, wasn't there?
I think so.
Yeah, that's why the field is so bunched up.
But you remember the top complaint was these drivers couldn't even get to the bumpers to use them at this track.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if I can get more information because they're not much is being told to me here. Somebody's bumping music right now. Is that Wessel?
No, that is not me.
That is not me.
I don't hear nothing in here either.
I can hear it through my headphones.
I heard it. Yeah.
I heard it for a second there. So if you look at the stage finishers, Chase Elliott actually swept the stages. So that's a good sign for Chase Elliott. And
did he have like cautions late in the stage and he took the stage and then pitted and Byron stayed out because he gave it up?
Byron finished second both stages.
So he was right there then.
So I think Chase probably led the stages, and then Byron probably took the lead on the pit stop at the last. I think that's how it went. Chase lost the lead on the pit stop after stage 2. I'm not.
I think it's Matt. I
It's
don't
not
know.
me. I promise you
hearing
it's
it.
not me.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Because I can hear it,
All
but
right,
it's
wait a
not
minute.
me.
Alexa, stop. It might be me.
Damn it out.
I didn't hear it a while ago, but then I could hear it, so it must have been on low or something.
Yeah, it's gone. So, yeah, any other talking points from Homestead? Martin Truex Jr. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. He spun out on pit road. Looks like I think he just missed his.
He was going to miss it.
He's going to miss his.
Kyle
stall.
Larson did him a favor. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he spun him right into the stall.
He spun him right into it. If it wasn't for that, he was missing that bastard.
Yeah. So, and for how hard it was to pass in this race and how quickly Truex moved through the field there
He was pissed.
really impressive. He was driving angry.
Yes.
I was so impressed with Martin Truex Jr. there coming back through the field. He went from like 19th to 6th or 7th, maybe.
Yeah.
That was really,
Sixth,
really impressive from the 19. So, do we think that's a good sign for him heading into next year? I mean, he's looked bad in the playoffs.
This was
race.
one. Yeah, I'm telling. It's tire wear. These older drivers love tire wear tracks. So
They do.
he's not had a good playoffs. Even if he had been in, I think he'd already been eliminated.
He would have been eliminated probably the first
Is that
round.
also
Yeah.
partially because he was the only JGR driver not in the playoffs, and he was just getting marginal stuff?
I don't
compared to
know.
the rest
You got to
of
remember
JGR?
though, if you take Bell out of the equation, they all struggled.
Right.
I mean, I would even go as far as saying that Hamlin is falling off here lately, and this was one of his best
Hamlin
tracks.
has scored the most points in the playoffs throughout this stint.
Are you sure? I thought Ross Chastain and them were up there.
I think Ross is second. I'm pretty sure Hamlin is first though, in points scored in the playoffs.
Well, he must got it early because here lately he's not had it. I don't think.
I mean, I feel like Danny should have been like sneakily like top 10 the whole time. And in these playoffs, that seems like it's enough. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Ross, to be honest. I would say they're probably 1-2 right now, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Ross. So are they just going to let him waltz into the Final Four? It seems like
I think now they can't. They have to because after what Bubba done last week, I don't think you want to even take a chance of wrecking him just by using your bumper.
Right.
If he takes a hard hit, NASCAR may feel like they got to put out the same punishment, which kind of paints them in a box. That's what I said last week. I was hoping that this wouldn't set too much of a precedent.
That you're going to get suspended. Yeah. I think that
for every little thing.
I think that reaction came just because of
Twitter, social media.
I think it was mostly because of how bad it looked. Because really,
it looked bad. If it went from Bell
really bad,
softening up a little bit and taking a hit, Kyle Larson was going to hit that wall harder than what he did, and he hit it pretty damn hard. And even Bubba did. I mean,
Bubba hit really hard.
He hit it hard in the front, but it's the back end that is the worrisome part.
And Larson looked like he might have been backing into the wall.
Kyle Larson was going back straight into that wall. He was going to back it straight in, and he took an angle after he clipped the 20. So it was the speed and it looking so violent is what I think got the reaction.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the penalty. Like I said last week, I just hope it doesn't do too much on. I kind of like the boys have at it. I don't, NASCAR got where they were policing it too much, and then like 2010, it was boys have at it again. We don't need to go back into that. We need to stay in it. These drivers need to do a little bit of their own. I mean, I still think Denny Hamlin owes Chastain. Whether he cashes it this year or next year, I don't know. Maybe he waits till if he makes it at Phoenix, he fucks him at Phoenix. I mean, he could fuck him without trying. He could just make his life a living hell.
Come back out there and wreck him.
Oh, I'm not talking about wrecking him. I'm talking about just racing him like dog shit, running him up the track.
If
but
Denny's
not
out and Ross is in,
shit. Denny's in it with Ross. I'd still do it. I mean,
but you could. Then Ross they'll probably just end up.
It just
taking
depends.
Each other out.
Well, I mean, it's either you take him out before he takes you out because we all know he's going to take you out. If he's in for the Final Four and Hamlin's in it too, he's already burnt that bridge with Hamlin. He ain't gonna fucking care to wreck him one more time. It's for a championship.
Yeah. So Matt, Joey Logano had another week to prepare. He's your guy. You've been screaming from the top of your little cliff. Joey, I love you. How is your confidence in your Joey Logano championship pick feeling right now?
I feel good. I mean, he didn't have a good race this week, but he doesn't need to. Right, he doesn't need to. And then I think he's been really strong his whole entire career at Martinsville. So I feel like this is a good race where he'll finish. I think he'll finish somewhere in the top 5. So if he can do that and just build up a little bit of momentum headed into Phoenix, I think that's the best thing he can have. But they're just probably focusing all their energy on that car that they're going to use at Phoenix.
Definitely.
So it's definitely an advantage of winning the first race in the round of 4.
Is he still your pick for the championship?
Yes, sir. I have no reason to
You have
change
to
it.
ride with. You have to ride with Joey.
Yeah, I said it before.
And I
the
mean, you look at the
playoffs, I'd
tracks.
have
You look at two of the tracks he won this year. He won Gateway and Darlington, which they're different, but Gateway is similar to Phoenix in a way of, length and the flatness of the corners. So I look for Joey to do well. I think that's a good pick. The last time Joey won the first race of the round 8, he won the championship. So I look for Joey to have a chance. What are your thoughts on Logano, Wessel, and Tegan?
Logano is a guy that, he can kind of just pop up anywhere and kind of just be there. It doesn't matter whether Ford's not performing well at short tracks, which is kind of what we've seen this year. But obviously he won Gateway, which is a track very similar to this. I think he ran pretty well at Richmond last time we were there, and Richmond's probably, if you gauge it, it's probably the most similar track to Phoenix, I would say.
Without the tire wear.
Yeah. But I think he's got a good chance. He's not really my pick for the championship, though.
Who is?
I agree.
Honestly, Ross Chastain. At this point, honestly,
I love that.
I don't want to see it, but
I don't either.
I want to see it.
It's going to happen.
No, that'd be so Mickey Mouse. Are you telling me if Chase Elliott gets in there and mark this video clip, 31 minutes, if that fucker wrecks Chase Elliott for the championship, we're going to go back and replay Mike's
I
little
wanted to see
sound bit here.
Yeah, well,
I want to see him win it.
That's
he just wrecked my driver. I'm pissed.
That's where I'd be angry. But I would love if Ross Chastain wins the championship fair and square, I'd love to see the internet just go like, oh my God. Like they would run wild if Ross Chastain won the championship. My pick is still Chase Elliott. I have to ride with it. He's my favorite driver. I said it. Has he had the speed recently? No. But I have to. He's my guy. You'd pick Harvick if he was here still. Tegan.
I had Harvick in the Final Four, so.
Yeah.
I also.
Which he would have been fucked even if he had made it through the first round because Talladega would have got them. So.
Yeah. So who's your pick then, Tegan? You said it's not Logano, and I don't think it's Chastain.
Logano is a sneaky little bitch, so I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't wind up at top at Phoenix. But I think it's going to have some kind of late fuckery that we had last year, a little, caution that fucked Truex and gave it to Larson because, Larson was better on the short run. I don't have a pick yet. I want to see who the Final Four is.
He also had that pit stop where he went from third to first.
Yeah.
Let's face it, his
that
pick crew won him that championship.
The pick crew won him the championship, but that race had went green.
Exactly.
Truex had the better car in the long run. Truex and I think the 11 both had better cars in the long run.
They did.
So if I see Hamlin making the Final Four, that's my dark horse. Just because I'm so fucking tired of hearing about how he is the new Mark Martin because he's had so many close calls with the championship and so many second place finishes. Let's give it to him and get done with it. And to be honest, I've kind of started liking Hamlin here lately. So
okay, Hamlin.
I couldn't used to be able to stand him, but I guess where him and Harvick had that all year 2020 battle, back and forth, I kind of gained a lot of respect for him and their crew chiefs, how they would, congratulate each other and shit. So
yeah,
I've kind of jumped on the Hamlin bandwagon and, let's get him his championship and so that we'll shut up about it.
I've always thought it was funny that some NASCAR fans, their insult to Denny Hamlin was that, he's just a Mark Martin. Like Mark Martin isn't a legend and a Hall of Famer of the sport. Like,
and a respected person in the sport.
Not
yes.
an insult. Yeah.
So did you guys hear about that? Nobody from RFK talked to Mark Martin at Las Vegas.
Oh, Mark Martin said it.
That's embarrassing. Like,
but I think Keselowski shouted out to him after the race. I think maybe on Twitter. I think
but
so.
Nobody went up to him in person. Like he was there, and they didn't make a big deal out of it. He was driving one of the.
To be fair, though,
was Jack Roush even there?
Does
Jack Roush even go to the track anymore? I don't think he does.
I haven't seen him there in a while.
But let's be fair. Did they know? Because NASCAR doesn't do a very good job at advertising this shit, and we didn't know. Nobody knew.
But also, they went to Toyota to get permission for them to be able to do that because apparently Toyota was the official pace car.
Yeah,
right.
I didn't realize it either, but he called them out. Thanked them for letting him ride around. Considering it was their turf, I guess.
I heard a clip from TJ Majors on DB2, who's Brad's spotter, and he said he didn't even know. Like they had no clue. Nobody told them about anything.
Well, that tells me that Roush, nobody told Roush then.
I don't think Roush knew. I really don't. I don't think they knew.
Yeah.
Might be the last minute decision.
So that's on NASCAR. I mean, I don't think NASCAR does a good job like preserving their legends
No.
because the only way a legend in NASCAR stays relevant or stays within the sport is if they're on TV or they go into ownership.
Or if their name is Earnhardt, Petty, and even I would say Johnson, but I feel like Johnson's not been talked about here since he's retired. He only gets talked about when there's a rumor that he was coming back to NASCAR, and now he's retired for full-time driving too. So I don't know. It just and the reason Petty gets a little bit more because he's still an owner, even though.
And I think unfortunately, I mean maybe we'll see Kurt come into the booth, but if he doesn't come into the booth, I mean, to be honest, we'll probably never hear from him. Like he says he wants to run some, like select races, like bucket list items.
I think Kurt's going to be a top executive at 23. I think he's going to be at the track a lot.
I think it's going to be. Yeah. I think you'll just see him like hanging around 23-11. Because they said he's going to have an office role when he retires, even before his injury. So I think that we'll see him around. But you look at like when was the last time you saw Ricky Rudd in the garage? A guy like that, or even Matt Kenseth.
Some of these drivers do it to themselves, though.
True.
And you can't blame NASCAR. Ricky Rudd's the top that I would see that just wants to stay at home. Matt Kenseth, I think, races a lot of late model races and shit like that, local, so you can't put a lot on there.
Someone that they also have done kind of dirty is Casey Kane. Like, that guy's still around Charlotte.
I'm telling you, I think Casey Kane's another Kurt Busch. I think there's something. I think his head's messed up.
Yeah. It is. And I don't know why he still races as much as he does.
Yeah, he's doing like World of Outlaws and stuff. Like that stuff is
not smart.
Yeah.
Not smart.
Well, now let's be honest though. Casey Kane was a fizzle. He started out, you thought he was going to be a big thing, but he wasn't. He kind of stalled.
He had a few good seasons. He had 2006, which was really good. I think he had like 5 or 6 wins that year. He had 2012 where he was top 5 in points, I believe. Really, other than that, though, he was kind of
but he was spotty
level driver. Yeah.
Especially late in his career, even after he went to Hendrick, he was not worth the shit. So
2012 was only like really, really big year there, and he made the playoffs in 2013. But the only times he really was competitive after that was when he kind of snuck a win up there, like at Atlanta in 2014, and then at Indy in 2017, which was a wild race. That that was just crazy. Because once Truex and Kyle wrecked each other there, it was anybody's game then, and Casey Kane took advantage of it. But yeah, he definitely was a spotty. That's a good word for it, for Casey Kane. I'm
pretty sure Casey Kane's white.
Yeah, you're racist against white people.
Okay, I am, maybe.
Yeah, you are. I knew it. Let's talk a little bit about the CFRL race this week. Bradley gets a win. Tegan does not win again. Big win for Bradley. Locks him into the championship 4. He needed that one, and he got it.
Because he ain't racing.
You were up there at Michigan. What?
He ain't racing this weekend.
Oh, I thought you said Michigan. I was like, close on the mileage of the track, but not the right side of the country. You were up there battling a lot. What do you think led to him winning? I mean, Bristol's always been one of his best tracks. So,
he's put a lot of practice in this week just because I figured it out. He had to catch up a little bit, but I was literally on his bumper for 90-something laps that run, and he pitted before I did, and I ran long, so that gave him a pretty good lead. And then I just ran my shit up, trying to catch him, and I didn't know you could do that at Bristol. Because I didn't make no changes. My car went from perfect to fucking loose. I couldn't even keep it off. I couldn't get off the corners right. I lost 4 seconds to them, And then I just that's where I stayed, even with a shitty car. So that one came down to even cars and a better pit strategy on his part. Short pitting me like that and making me run my stuff up to catch them. So and holding off JB too. JB, had damage most of the race and didn't fix it till the end, and that's what killed him. So everything fell right for Bradley for once. I mean, he can't say. It was, like Wessel said last week, let's make a drinking game for every time Bradley says the points matter to me the most this round.
Yeah,
we didn't have to hear that. I don't think we heard that last night, and we won't have to hear it this week. So
yeah,
we're all
we'll
going
have
to
to
be
hear
sober
about all
at
this
Auto
week.
Club. Yeah, we'll all be sober at Auto Club. So, and then that's going to be a wild race, I think, between a couple of drivers, about 2 or 3 drivers. So,
what are you talking about?
you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be, I'm telling you, there is a chance that neither one of you or Pred makes it into the Final Four.
It's there.
All it takes is Kamal having the internet last long enough for him to win.
Yeah. I think that there's going to be 3 guys that are going to be driving a lot harder than they have all year at that race.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kamal's going to be like turning off the fucking Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he's going to be punching people. He's going to be.
He's not going to be hardwired to the
house.
router. He's going to be hardwired straight to the cable box.
He's gonna have an Xfinity truck outside of his house and have a big
exactly
cord running outside.
Satellite, straight to the satellite. Don't you move, motherfucker! I'm gonna kick your ass. Because his internet is shit for him to have Xfinity. There's no excuse
I have
for
Xfinity,
him.
and I do not have a problem with stuff like that.
He does, and it just seems like he'll go 2 or 3 races and it's fine, and then he'll have a couple 3 more races in a row where he just fucking lags out, and it's hit him at a bad time. So. If his internet lasts, he's got a really good shot at winning this weekend too. So maybe looking at 2 of you being out.
We'll see. I mean, that is a good track for me. So I'm hoping for the best. Good track for the 24 and the 18 too. So I definitely have to give it my all. Yeah, I think. Imagine it comes out of like a fastest lap point or something.
Or tiebreaker. I mean,
I
I made that tiebreaker thing for a reason. So
I think I have it right now over both of them, wouldn't I? But if Kamal gets
the win, it don't matter. But yeah,
if Kamal gets enough points to tie it, I don't think that he's gonna.
Kamal can't make up the points.
He can't.
He's what, 20 out? No, we'd have to have like over 10 people show up for a deal to even have a probability. The possibility probably ain't there, but if we don't have more than 10 people, he's in a must win.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a chance for you and Pred to tie. And the tiebreaker may be this race because I don't think either one of you's had a really decent round. I think you've both got a 4th, maybe.
No, I finished 4th this week and 5th. I finished 4th at Atlanta, 5th at Bristol. I think he.
Okay, so you've got the tiebreaker on him then. Yeah. I think he's finished 6th both races, maybe. Yeah. So I mean, all it takes for him finishing 3rd.
Yeah.
So.
Let's go around and give our CFRL Final Four predictions. Matt, Wessel, did you guys hear this week at California?
I will be here this week.
I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll be.
That's the one that he put out of his ass and got a nice 2nd, 3rd place finish after riding on the apron for 40 laps. Trying to say, yes, you. He literally gave that race to me because when he done it, everybody else but Bradley and JB started saving gas. I was passing cars, lapping them. Because there were 6 cars on the apron drafting, trying to save gas because Wessel started it. They got halfway through saving their gas, and they're like, that's when I knew I fucked up.
Yeah. Hey, it worked though, because me and Bradley, I think both of us may have sped that race, and we were kind of working together. Me and him were pulling the same strategy, and I think we went from like 7th and 8th to 3rd and 4th. Like it works. I mean,
you forced everybody's hand, and I'm starting thinking, yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
I mean, you had a big enough lead that it didn't matter at that point.
No. I mean, yeah, I guess I had to try something, but like, I feel like Smoke was the one that done it too, and I feel like Smoke was close enough he could have still won that race on speed, but you forced everybody's hand on that. Even I think the 19 car, you forced his hand into it. So, and Ryan, that dumbass. I love you, Ryan.
Love Ryan.
If it wasn't for the tires, I probably would have almost done it at Atlanta too.
Atlanta, yeah. You would have forced mine and JB's strategy change at Atlanta if you had been able to make your tires last into the fuel run to make it on the next run. But I'd adjusted for it. I don't know if it had worked, but I'm glad it did. I needed that one.
I'm in the direct line of competition for this, so I'm not going to give my pick. So we'll go Wessel, Matt, and Tegan. We'll go that order. And for you guys to give your CFRL Final Four picks, all decided this weekend at Auto Club. So, what do you guys got?
So Tegan Bradley already locked in with wins. JB's got a pretty.
JB's just got to start.
He's got a
Yeah.
good point cushion. So he just has to start the race. So JB will be in there. And it's going to be a strong battle between Mike and Predator. I believe there will be some controversy this weekend.
Oh,
And,
spicy.
It just depends on who's going to be the most vocal. Who's going to be at fault is the coin toss, right?
I think we're going to see some rubbing this weekend, and I'm not going to make a pick for the fourth one because I honestly don't know.
Oh wow, that's great.
He don't want to get involved.
That is going to happen.
Wes was like, "I'm gonna make my final 3 prediction, and that's all you get."
Yeah, right.
and then I think you two probably have a chance to wreck each other out of it, and Kamal come in if his internet stays up.
I'm not. I don't think
Kamal's pretty good.
Actually, going to be as aggressive to each other as as you act like. I mean, if it's like 1 point and it's the last lap, then I think something's going to happen. But I don't think that, because I think we were 1 point apart.
Be prepared to run that apron. One of you.
We were 1 point apart at
last week.
Bristol the entire race, and I actually probably raced better around him than I did anybody else that I was racing around with. So I don't know. I think him and I are on a good place right now, at least on the track. But Matt and Tegan, what do you guys think?
I said before the playoffs started that I thought it was going to be you, Tegan, Bradley, and JB. So I'm just gonna rock with that.
That's a smart guy.
I'm just gonna rock with the same 4. I will say, for the races that I've been at in the playoffs, and just even in general, like when Kamal's if his Wi-Fi doesn't lag out, he's pretty fast almost every single place we go. So I will say, like, I've never raced with him here at Auto Club, but I think if his Wi-Fi stays, he could be a big factor to win the race. But I'm gonna rock with the same 4 dudes that I said 4 dudes this time instead of 2.
Okay, double the dudes.
I'm gonna rock.
Ooh, my kind of stuff.
I'm gonna rock with the same 4 that I made before the when we had our predictions before the playoffs started.
Does Wisconsin have a men's volleyball team?
Oh man, Tegan, what do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna give 2 predictions. If Kamal doesn't win, I think Mike gets in. I think y'all are going to be too close to each other. I don't think he'll have the option of making up 3 points or 4 points to be sure. But I would not be surprised if Kamal wins.
I wouldn't be either.
If his internet lasts and he don't lag, like, it's not just got to last. It's got to be to where he's not lagging so bad that he can't race, because he lags bad enough to where he sees it on his screen. So if he can put you know what, Kamal, if you're watching, I don't know where you live, but you can borrow my internet. We'll make it fair. Come down here. My internet's good enough. I think we can both race on it. So just come down here or Wessel. He's close enough. He's got good internet. Go to his house. He lives like an hour and a half away from me.
When do you guys hook up?
What's your definition of hook up? Oh no, there's a go-kart track down here I want to go to. I have like a coupon. I'm hoping it's still good.
Have you been to Andretti's?
Uh-uh.
Andretti's is so good.
I got one for that Atlanta Motorsports Park or whatever it is.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's probably around down your area.
Are you guys gonna have a date?
No.
He's already took one guy to the prom. He don't need another.
He did do that.
Oh.
We had Colby on the race live stream last night.
Colby was?
Yeah, I called him. There's like a photo on Facebook that was posted of him, and he looked pretty sturdy in it. So I wanted to call him and let him know.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm like? He was standing like.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That was like a suck your gut in pose.
Oh.
I liked it, so I called him and said, "You looked sturdy," and he goes, "Is that a good thing?" And I go, "Absolutely." So that was fun. My picks for the Final Four are me.
He said he wasn't going to make a pick, and then he picked
I have
himself.
to pick me. I mean, if I don't pick me, then I'm a fucking
He didn't have majority, so he had to make majority.
Those stage points at the first
very important.
They're going to be very important. So like you're going to have to qualify really good. Because let's say
Well-
like you qualify outside, like you say you qualify like 7th.
And you got to remember, a stage win actually is a 2-point advantage
It's an extra
because
point. Yeah.
Right.
you get 10, and then plus that playoff points counts toward your total too. So like literally, you could win and he could finish second, or vice versa, and you can gain 2 points even though you're only one position separated. So
to counter that point, Wessel, I started 11th in the Auto Club race earlier this season, and I finished the stage 2nd.
But finished where for the race?
I sped.
Speeding on pit road. That is a classic.
He pulled a
move.
Wessel.
Yeah, I sped. But I think I finished like 10th or 11th still.
Wait, did
That's
you
why.
speed? Ain't that the one where you spun out into a speeding penalty because you hit the transition wrong?
Oh, I like it kicked me out of the pit road and I did another lap. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You spun it or something. I remember that now.
I slid into the pits and then it spun me once it was in the animation and it kicked me like I got
Back out
on
of
the
it.
other side of the wall. Yeah. So that was a really unfortunate situation, especially when I was.
Well,
I think,
you don't need that to happen again.
no, I don't. I think it was a 3-car breakaway with you, me, and the 19, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
That had happened a few times early in that season.
I mean, I think I broke away from the 19, and then Wessel pulled his move, and I guess the 19 went with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna.
I think
be
it's worth
fun.
noting if I win Auto Club, I'll be the first driver to have 4 wins at a track too. By the way, yeah,
To have
Some
4
motivation
wins at
for
a
me.
track.
So you hear that? Wreck
Yeah.
the Ford.
yeah. Bradley's got 3 at Iowa, I believe, and then I've got 3 at a lot. But yeah, Auto Club would be 4
Oh, wow.
if I can win
Hey,
it.
you probably will.
No, I got to make it interesting. I can't let you or Pred win.
What?
I want it to be
Let the
close.
18 win?
I don't want y'all to have a walk off. I don't want to let the 18 win either because he's competition at Homestead. I remember 2020. That motherfucker was there.
I'm not going to be competition.
Hey, anytime to play the music. No, you probably will be, but
Mile and a half.
I'm more worried about the 18.
Mile and a half's definitely been the place that I've been closest to you, I think, this year.
Yeah, a little too close. Which I don't know. I can't say that
mind.
because Pocono and Indy ain't mile and a half. So those you had me
True.
worried.
Yeah, yeah. Can you just not show up to those next year, please?
How about I just let you get a head start and I still whoop your ass?
I don't know if you'll whoop my ass with a head start, but I was pretty close to you there.
Yeah, pretty close. But you shot the bed.
Well, you strategized me at Indy. Did somebody just fart?
No, that was Weasel doing that.
It shows you ain't paying attention.
It said you shot
Yeah.
the bed, and I went.
I did shit the bed. Yeah, so what are our picks for the Martinsville race? We'll go Wessel, Matt, Tegan, and then me.
Man, I can't. I don't know. It's tough.
Great,
because
this guy's terrible at giving fucking picks.
I mean, it's gonna be completely based off
Jesus
qualifying.
Christ.
Like we don't.
Yeah.
He's going to say one of the 36 drivers.
It's
BJ McLeod.
Oh, he may be
definitely
suspended. They took their
not
engine.
BJ McLeod. I'm gonna go with probably. I'm gonna say Chase Elliott. Honestly, it's gonna be one of the Hendrick cars between him and Byron.
Matt?
I do have William Byron winning. I think Logano's going to be close. He's going to be top 3, but I think Byron's going to win.
Here he goes. Matt with his Logano propaganda. Tegan, who do you have?
The post hitter. Whoever wins the poll is going to win the race. Whoever that may be.
I was gonna go with Chase Elliott, but I don't know if for the sake of entertainment, I should.
Kyle
I think we
Larson.
should all. I actually was thinking about Kyle Larson, but I feel like he hasn't been good at Martinsville.
I don't think he'd be good on short tracks, period.
Yeah, which is weird.
Not
You would
this
think
year.
I mean, really ever, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Mile and a half is really his bread and butter.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney.
Ooh.
I hope you're right.
Winning
I hope
in.
you are right and I'm wrong. Because that'd be nice.
I'm picking Ryan Blaney.
have
He'll be in.
So
So didn't I pick Kyle Larson last week? Or this
I
last
think you
weekend?
did, yeah.
After Wessel gave him to me.
Yeah.
Because you went with Reddick, didn't you?
I went with
One of you went with Reddick. We all picked Highline
I
drivers.
picked Reddick.
We all basically picked dirt background drivers.
Yeah, Highline drivers, yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly forget who I picked last week.
You weren't here.
That's right. I wasn't here. You are.
Sal. Who did he pick?
Oh,
Somebody picked Bell.
Sal. I think I took
Sal
Bell.
might have
I think he
picked-
took
you
Reddick.
took Bell.
Yeah.
I took Reddick.
I can't remember who he picked then.
Who's the other Highline driver? Chastain? No.
He might have picked Chastain.
Yeah, it was another
I think it
Highline
was.
driver.
Well, we should do like a pick system next year, like DBC picks, where we like keep track of it and have like a
I thought
limit
about
on
that.
each driver. Just to make it interesting, put some stakes
Oh,
out on the
shit.
line.
Toward the end, you're going to have to start picking BJ and fucking Cody Ware and
Well, they reset
Yeah.
it for the playoffs.
Ori.
So, yeah, I think it's about that time, isn't it? Are you done with your water bottle yet? Oh, he's fucking that shit
Oh.
up. Let's go. Hit it.
No, wait, no. Wessel's got to throw the blow smoke out at the same time.
Oh, that would be
We got
so
tag
cool.
team.
All right, let's do it.
Watch them.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
I didn't
just came
actually
a
get
little.
to see it because the smoke was blocking my screen.
I just made the noise.
That was awesome. Matt, why didn't you do something cool?
I don't have anything like that.
Can we play rock?
You
paper,
could have done this.
All right, we could
scissors?
do
Play
it.
rock
Just
paper,
some
scissors.
loogie all over the screen.
All right,
Two
you want
out
to
of
do
three.
best 2 out of yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
go rock. So how do you do it? You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, then
Rock,
shoot.
paper, scissors, shoot, and then
All right.
we shoot.
We shoot on shoot, right?
We shoot on shoot. Yeah.
All right.
No, you shoot before.
All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Paper.
That guy cheated.
No, I
What
did
the
not
fuck has he
cheat.
got?
Is
I
that
got
a gun?
sideways paper? Is that
Is that a gun?
Yeah, pow. You're done.
You.
Okay.
It's
All right.
paper. Paper, scissors, paper, scissors, rock. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. One more.
Ready?
Ready? Because I'm
Yeah.
on this one.
Okay. Rock, paper.
the latency is making this
Yeah.
so bad.
Yes.
Are we gonna
Mike, you wanna
shoot
just-
or what?
Well,
Y'all should just get on the phone and do it.
Right, because it's so lagged. You want to just hold up what you want to do right now, like
Just
behind
write
your
it down
back,
on
and
a
then
piece
just,
of
like, on
paper
the count of
and bam.
3, just let it go.
They're
Because
still
it's
gonna be
so
like.
delayed.
It's
Well,
gonna be
no. So I
delayed
mean,
anyway.
like, right, but I mean, like, you won't be able to see what the other person already has. Like, you just put.
I would
rock,
close our
paper,
eyes.
scissors. All right, sure. All right.
Okay.
Take each other off screen.
These
Okay,
two
are we ready?
motherfuckers are going to close their eyes and they're going to throw their hand off the screen where nobody can see it.
Right.
All right. Are you ready?
If your eyes are closed, are your eyes already closed?
My
He's
Mike,
still
I-
doing the paper.
Mike, how
Alright.
do you know what you're gonna pick if your eyes are closed?
I understand my hand extremities. Okay. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Matt already had his picked out.
Matt had his the whole time. He didn't do anything. He was just
That would have been a
win.
good time for Matt to cheat.
Yeah.
I should have said, Matt, wake up, Matt.
Yeah, I just held mine out the whole entire time. So it's 1-1 now because I had paper.
It is
'cause
1-1.
paper-
Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
it's sideways paper. Yeah.
Eyes closed.
All right,
Eyes closed.
Yep.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ty.
We both got paper.
I'm not
we
sure
both got
about this
paper.
sideways paper. It's throwing me off.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like
Yeah,
scissors.
What the hell is that? That
No,
sucks.
it's plenty distinct.
He's
Scissors,
like
paper, scissors.
I
Paper.
thought this was paper.
Okay, fine. I'll do
Paper's
this.
this.
from now
paper's
on.
flat,
All right.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Nobody,
Sure.
paper can't stand up. All right, are we ready?
All right. Yep.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Gotcha.
Paper for Matt.
Fuck!
I was texting him. Paper.
Whitman's
Damn.
over here jerking off trying to get it right, and Matt's just straight.
Matt's the guy that's like, let's get this over with. Just bang me and let's go to bed.
Oh my god.
Matt's or
That was
Mike's
a
over there
tough
jacking his
loss
feet.
for me. That was a tough loss for me. Well,
That was like watching Chase Elliott fans go against Kyle Larson fans.
okay. No reason for that. You guys hear that? I think it's about that time. Ow. Shit. See you later.